I have a dear friend. I know she's tuned into the webinar right now, but she watched a recent open-eyed channeling video that's on YouTube. Perhaps you saw it the first time that I channeled Sanaya with my eyes open. And Sanaya answered a question about how to deal with family members who are estranged. A really good answer that they gave there. Her youngest daughter had been out of contact with her for 3 years. And she watched that channeling and wrote to us to say that she was overjoyed that just before Christmas, that daughter reached out and reestablished contact, and they got to spend Christmas Eve together. And it was just beautiful and showed that, when we don't push an issue, when we trust spirit, when we come from our heart and trust the process and allow people to go down the path that they need to go down, in some cases like this one, it has what we consider a very happy ending. But what's really cool is she wrote, and I quote her email, "I no more would have expected this change of circumstances and the significant shift that happened. It felt like she was adrift at sea, yet I've held vigil for her. Sanaya's channeling rang like a guiding bell, tolling in the dense fog." Now, the reason I bring that up is those words right there made me laugh out loud, because the minute I read them in an email, I knew what Brenda, my guide across the veil, had been referring to about an hour and a half earlier when we played the sign game. Every time before I sit to do a reading, I say, "Brenda, am I tuned in? Tell me something Lynette's doing right now." And that day, in that reading, Brenda showed me a big bell tolling and garlands of flowers coming down in a celebratory fashion. I sent that to Lynette, and I love that Lynette will not make something stretch. She said, "I don't know what that is." And I said, "Well, she's celebrating something, and I don't know what the bell is, but I'm just going to have to trust that I am tuned in, because here's a hint how you know it's not your imagination when you talk to spirit. There was no reason for me to have the image of a bell tolling and celebratory garlands of flowers. And now Brenda knew that this friend of ours was going to write me, if she hadn't already. I don't remember the timing. And it was in my inbox about using that metaphor of a bell tolling to celebrate her daughter reaching back out after 3 years. So again, another example of the spirit world having the bigger picture. And I can literally hear Brenda right now saying, "Well, of course we do. What do you think?" And they're no longer bound inside the physical body with our limited physical sight. But we are not either. This is the point. We certainly don't have the omnipresent bird's eye view that we have once we get out of these bodies, but using the Bless Me method that I teach, doing the regular sip of the divine, and any tool that allows you to be present and focus will open you up to the ability to connect with higher consciousness and get the bigger picture, which is why I'm sharing these stories with you.